All right. Well, welcome everyone. This is a big part of what we're trying to do with Parkinson's Point is share resources on behalf of our members and care partners. We want to see improved life and well-being and quality of life. And some of these resources can really be key to helping that happen. And so we're glad to have Mitch from USTEP just to inform us of this mobility instrument, we'll call it. And we're very much looking forward to hearing from you and learning and and considering. So thank you so much, Mitch. Take it from here.
You bet. Hello, everyone. We're going to make this fun, funny, hopefully. This will take no more than 4 hours. I promise. Do not worry. I'm kidding. Don't worry. I like to joke around. I can't help it. So my name is Mitch. Obviously, we're going to talk about the USTEP Neuro Walker. We're going to cover all the different features and capabilities of it. We're also going to talk about different USTEP models. And we'll also talk about, I'll say, financials, including reimbursement from Medicare. Okay, so we'll cover that at the end. And then, of course, we want people to ask questions, makes it more fun for me, else you'll just hear me talk over and over and over. So where I start is the beginning. It's a good place to start. We've actually been around for about 30 years, so we're not a new company. This started with our founder's mom. She had a neuro condition. Unfortunately, she didn't have good balance. She had some falls, not good. She had a regular walker. She had leg braces, didn't help. So Jonathan, our founder, built a prototype thing, which is now a USTEP. It was made of wood. That's how long ago it was. And she wheeled this contraption into her neurologist's office, and he said, "You got to build this for others." And that's how the company started. So mom was customer number one. She did not get a discount, but that is okay. It was mom. So, but hey, yay, mom. So when we talk about the USTEP, and I know we'll talk about Parkinson's as it relates to the USTEP, the real reason that we exist, it's really simple. It's to prevent falls. That is it in a nutshell. We're here to prevent falls. Falls are bad. Falls are terrible, right? There's nothing good about a fall. So if we can help individuals stand and be mobile, this is good versus, let's say, sitting in a wheelchair. What's fascinating is over the last maybe 9 or 12 months, we've been receiving videos from, I'll say, patients. We're seeing that we're actually pulling people out of wheelchairs. People who have been in a wheelchair for years. We have a video from a gentleman who was in a wheelchair for over a decade, and now he's walking with a USTEP. He's 93 years old. So it's fascinating, a lot of the stories that we hear about the USTEP. So I'm hoping your screens can see this USTEP well, because I'm going to point out different things, but I'll try and also explain everything. So it starts with the base. The base is shaped like a U. That's why we're the USTEP. So we're surrounding you in all different directions and dimensions, because when you're surrounded, you just feel a little bit more safer and more secure. And related to that, if you have the opportunity to try out a USTEP, you should feel a sense of confidence when you hold on to it. And this is because 75% of the weight of the USTEP is way down here at the base, which means our center of gravity is very, very low. The lower your center of gravity, the more stable you will be. Think about a race car in a racetrack. It can maneuver at high speeds because it's very low to the ground. It's not like a bus. Regular walkers, or your typical rollator, has a pretty even distribution of weight, so their center of gravity is quite a bit higher, and this is why it's so easy to tip over a regular walker, which we don't like at all, right? It's all about no falls, no falls. So stability is key point number one about the USTEP. Number two is control. So with most walkers, how many times, and You don't have to raise your hands, but when you're using a regular walker, sometimes it goes so fast and it rolls away from you a little bit. And that's kind of scary, right? It can lead to a fall. The U-step is the exact opposite. It doesn't move. It only moves when you want it to move. And this is the concept behind what we call reverse braking. You actually have to do something to release the brake so you're in control. So our philosophy is that the individual should be controlling the walker. So you decide when you want to move. And this is by squeezing the handbrake. It's like a bicycle handbrake. Now there are handbrakes on both sides, but what's nice about the U-step is either side releases both brakes. Because some people just have maybe a stronger hand and a weaker hand, so you don't need both hands to squeeze. Either hand can do the squeezing, or maybe a hand gets tired and you can just change which hand is doing the squeezing. And then when you let go, the U-step just stops. So the idea is to be very, very safe so it never rolls away from you. Related to this, I'll call control and safety. And hopefully you can see there are gray wheels here on both sides toward the back. They are thick, wide rubber wheels with a lot of grooves in them. And these actually have a special purpose, and it's very different from any other rollator. These are called rolling resistance wheels, which means you or your therapist, physical therapist, can change the level of resistance that you face when you're pushing your U-step. So think about safety. If we think you're going too fast, we can increase the resistance to slow you up, almost like a speed limiting type of device. So if there's a fear of going too fast, this is a very key safety element of the U-step that we can slow someone down. And it's very easy to do. You just loosen a screw, just one screw on the outside, and then there's a silver toggle next to the wheel. If you just push it forward toward the H, higher resistance, pull it back to the L, lower resistance, and then tighten the screw back up. Very easy to do. Typically, we would set the resistance level the same on both wheels, but you don't have to. So if someone's out there or anyone's out there that may kind of drift to the right or drift to the left, you can set the resistance level a little offset to help straighten out. Okay, so we're always thinking about safety, always. This is why we exist. So control is key point number 2 about the U-step. So now let's talk about Parkinson's. So that's, you're probably best well known for being a walker for Parkinson's patients. We work with several thousand neurologists across the country. I mean, this is what we're known for. And so there's a percentage of those with Parkinson's who exhibit that freezing or hesitation episodes. So we developed what we call the cueing module. It's on the right handlebar. It's an option. So if you don't need it, you don't have to buy it, but it's on the right handlebar. And what it does is, if I push, there's a red button and 2 black buttons. If I push the red button in, and hopefully you can see that, there's a red laser light that spans the width of the U-step. The red laser, studies have shown that that red laser helps unfreeze someone with Parkinson's. It also serves as kind of a step guide to aim for the line, aim for the line, aim for the line. Now, we're not saying stare at the ground. It's more just seeing that red laser does work the brake to help unfreeze someone. Now, I'll go into a little bit details here. There's some, because questions always come up with this module. So when I push that red button, and I know you couldn't hear it there, there's some clicks that you hear before the light goes on. The clicks just tells you how long the laser will stay on. You hear between 1 and 7 clicks, or 4 to 28 minutes. So each click equals 4 minutes. There are 2 black buttons next to the red button. The top black button Every time you push it, increases the number of clicks by 1, 4 to 5, 6, 7, and then cycles back to 1. The bottom black button affects the volume of the clicking, and we'll hear that soon. So it's also 7 levels of volume from low to higher volume. Same thing, every time you push the bottom button, it increases the volume and then cycles back around. So with this module, we have visual cueing with the laser, but there's also a built-in metronome. Because we know people like to listen to music or a beat sometimes to keep a rhythm when walking. So I'm going to turn on the metronome, and it's very easy. With the laser on, I'm just holding in the top black button for 4 seconds. So hopefully you can hear that. Okay, so I have it going pretty loud and very fast. I mean, who walks that fast? I don't know. But there's actually 15 different cadences or 15 different beats that one can set because everyone walks at a different pace or a different gait. So there's actually 15 different cadences you can set. Just to get technical, it ranges from 59 beats per minute, or about 1 per second, to 130 beats per minute, which is about 2 beats per second. Those 2 black buttons we had just talked about, when the metronome is on, you can increase or decrease the cadence. So they serve a different function. So once again, very simple. And once again, it's an option. If you don't need it, that's fine. You can always add it at a later date too, if you wish. Okay, but I'm not trying to sell here today. This is education. So one more thing related to the laser and the metronome. We have the seat here. Beneath the seat, you'll see a small black rectangle box with one red hand screw. That's the battery compartment. 2 AA batteries, that's all it is for the laser and the metronome. So if the laser stops working, just change the batteries. Very, very easy. Okay. So I'm gonna flip this on the table and show one more thing. Then we're gonna get off the table and have more fun. At least I'm having fun. So, and someone is smiling. I see you, Bethany. You're smiling. Yay. Feel free to yell, scream. Okay, so the front middle wheel of the U-Step also has a special purpose. So hopefully you can see this has a Roman numeral 2 on the front cover. It's the front middle wheel. Behind that cover is a spring. Think of it like a shock absorber. Why do we have a shock absorber in a car? To lessen the impact of going over a pothole. Now I know there's no potholes in Colorado, right? None? 0? None? Yeah, maybe a few. But we hope no one goes over a pothole with their U-Step. That would be bad. But in the home, you have thresholds between rooms, maybe a sidewalk crack or a driveway crack. So the idea is just to lessen the impact. The last thing we want is to someone to roll over a bump and then overreact and possibly cause a fall. So just another safety element of the U-Step. There's nothing to do to set it up. Just like your car, the shock absorber is always there, always on. Okay, let us get off this table, and then you get to see me do whatever I'm gonna do. Okay, so here I am. Hopefully I'm still there somewhere. So we talked about the U-Step doesn't move unless I want to move. Remember safety? So, oh, I'm leaning on it. I'm over 200 pounds and we're not moving. And this is good for 2 reasons. Number 1, if I fell, this talk would be over, and that's not good. But number 2, okay, good, a smile. Number 2, more importantly, how many times with a regular walker, we've seen this, you're sitting down, you stand up, grab your walker to help stand, and it kind of creeps away a little bit. Or maybe you're trying to sit down and hold the walker and it creeps away. Because the U-Step doesn't move, it's very safe when you're standing up and sitting down. We talked about, remember that braking, that either hand releases the brakes? Well, here I go, just one hand, doesn't matter which hand. Now, I'm hoping you can see, but the wheels of the U-step, maybe I'll just do this real quick. The wheels and the wheel positioning of the U-step is very different than a regular walker. Your typical walker will have four wheels, right, on the four corners. With the U-step, none of the wheels are in the corners. This is by design. They're actually indented away from the corners. This is all about maneuverability. So I can stand in one place and literally I can just spin in a circle. It's a 29-inch turning radius. Think about regular walkers. They have, it's like trying to steer a truck. It's like a 54-inch turning radius or a 60-inch turning radius. So it's really like wide turns. And why is that important? Think about your home. You may have a lot of narrow, tight places to squeeze in your home, and the U-step is made for that. Could be maybe a kitchen with an island, maybe tables and chairs. Think about bathrooms. It is very difficult to navigate a bathroom with a regular walker. With the U-step, you can just go in and do any kind of tight turn that you need to. With a regular walker, it is hard to navigate many bathrooms. Even if you know Pilates or yoga, it's still hard with a regular walker. I caught you while you were drinking. I saw that, Bethany. Sorry. So maneuverability is just another key point about the U-step. Now, when someone receives the U-step, people say, "Oh, is this thing hard to set up? How long does it take?" Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. When someone receives a U-step, it's almost already fully assembled. You take out the bubble wrap, put in the backrest, maybe adjust the height of the handlebars. That's it. We want to keep it very easy. This is not IKEA. We're not sending you 7 wheels and 14 screws and go figure this out. We try and keep it simple. When we want to fold up the U-step, and I will demonstrate that, it's just 3 simple steps. And then we'll get into a question that I know will be asked, but I will answer it before you ask it. So 3 steps to fold up a U-step. Takes 30 seconds, maybe. So there's a latch that's called U-step. I can pull the latch up. There's a bar with a sticker. The sticker says, "Lift here to fold." So what do? I guess I will lift it straight up. And then there's a gray clip on the left side. That's it. We're done. It's nice and narrow. Can fit in the backseat of a car trunk. Now, we want to be very honest with everyone here, very transparent. It's a heavier walker. It's 21 pounds. It has to be heavier because our mission is fall prevention. We need that extra weight. Remember that low center of gravity? So, an interesting way. So, of course, if we're all strong, we can do that. But an interesting trick I learned from one of these meetings is if I hold the U-step at a 45-degree angle on that front wheel, I don't have to squeeze anything. I'm just using 2 fingers and I can just roll it wherever I need to roll it. So it makes it a lot easier to maneuver when I'm at that 45-degree angle. So let me put the U-step back together. Once again, 30 seconds. That gray clip, unclip it. The U-step will naturally fall into place, and then I push down. That is it. So what you're looking at here is called the standard U-step. Now I'm going to show different models, okay? Because the same model may not fit for everyone. So this is called the standard U-step. It's probably the one we ship the most often, I will say, especially for Parkinson's patients. It can accommodate someone up to 375 pounds. You can adjust the height of this one to accommodate someone from 5'2" to 6'2". But there's also a tall handlebar extension to accommodate someone up to 6'7". Bethany is taking me for a ride. Yay. There's also what's called a junior version of the U-step. The seat is 3 inches lower and it's for individuals 4'6" to 5'6". So we range pretty much from 4'6" to 6'7". So when someone orders a U-step, we're always going to ask their height just to make sure you get the right size U-step. So now I'm going to show you two other models of the U-step. And what's nice is that it's the same base. Nothing has changed, just different handlebars to address possibly other conditions, okay? So this is the standard. I'm gonna move it out of the way, but I'm not leaving. I promise I come back. Hopefully no one was worried about that, but I am coming back. So if someone is maybe have a stoop posture or a weak upper body and trunk, this is called the platform U-step. Same base, nothing has changed. Now we have different upper sections. We have these cuffs, elbow, forearm. That same bicycle handbrakes. Remember, either hand releases the brakes. We have what we call a stability bar right here that connects the two platforms, else they would just be wobbly. That's not good. So the platforms come as a pair, okay? Now, what's also nice is that there's two sizes of the platform. There is what's called the short for individuals 5 foot to 5'9", and tall for individuals 5'7" to 6'4". Okay. In addition, what's also nice about the platform, and I know maybe a little challenge to see, but there's columns of holes and a row of holes, and this is all about arm positioning, whatever is most comfortable for you. So you can your standard 90 degrees, but you can angle up, you can angle your arm down, and you can probably guess where I'm going here. We can angle our arm in, angle arm out, whatever makes the most sense and is the most comfortable. So this is the platform U-step. Now, because it's higher, it has a higher center of gravity. So the weight limitation is closer to 250 pounds. I just want to be sure we're clear on that. But wait, there's one more U-step. It's like a game show. There's always another, right? We got to have a third one. So let's go get it. So now this third U-step is typically for individuals with what we call weak hand strength, okay? It's called the press down U-step. There's no bicycle handlebars anymore, gone. Now it's just a lever. That's it. That's all it takes. So here I'm not moving. Now I'm moving. It's one lever, can be installed on either side. It doesn't matter. Typically, the weaker hand is on the side of the lever. Stronger hand, grip the handlebar. Boom, boom, boom. Now you may notice this black bar here. This is called a rollover bar. So I can actually roll the bar over right on top of the lever, and now we've transformed into the shopping cart or the lawnmower U-step. And people go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Now, safety, safety. When you're in shopping cart mode, you don't stop unless you lift a little bit. You don't have to lift all the way. Just lift a little bit to re-engage the brake. So we always want to be safe, okay? But this is the press down U-step. Now, the U-step has a basket that's underneath the seat, but it's modestly sized, as they say in marketing, modestly sized. So as an accessory, we developed what's called the home caddy. So this is a newer, bigger basket. We take that backrest off. This is a new backrest with a rail system and a large basket. And a tray that has indentations for cup, cell phones, keys, change. When you're moving, you have it over the seat. If you want to sit down, not a problem. It's also nice is you don't have to reach down that far to get into this basket versus underneath the seat. So I'm showing the home caddy on the press down. It's the same home caddy across all three U-steps. Okay. So now let's talk about finances, because everyone wants to hear about money and cost and all that. So The U-Step is the only neurological walker reimbursed by Medicare. That's it. None others, period. We're the only ones. The reimbursement amount for the U-Step is about 400. So I'm going to tell you all dollars here. So I'm going to go straight with all the money. The reimbursement amount is around $425. The U-Step will list for about $625. So it's about 70% coverage and about $200 out of pocket, unless you have secondary or supplemental insurance, which may cut or lessen that $200 more. The platform U-Step is about $200 more than the standard, of which about $80 to $100 of that additional $200 is covered by Medicare. Okay. The cueing module, that laser and metronome module, remember, it's an option. It's a separate product. It's $259. Unfortunately, no coverage by Medicare or private insurance. It just isn't. That home caddy, that basket we just talked about, that accessory is $59, just so you know that. So with respect to Medicare, and this is key, the U-Step is part of the mobility aids category, which does include wheelchair. So with Medicare, you can use your Medicare, whatever, once every 5 years. So we always want to be careful when you're using Medicare. Don't use it for a $10 item. Use it for bigger items, if at all possible. Now, the good thing about Medicare, and this is if someone decides to purchase, so once again, we're not here to sell. If someone wishes to go through with that, we are an authorized Medicare supplier in the state of Colorado. So individuals can work with us directly if they would like, and we'll handle all the Medicare paperwork with your provider. Of course, you can use a local DME if you'd prefer, but you have that option. We do take private insurance. The reimbursement rates kind of vary depending upon the carrier. So always call our main number, and I will say it here because they are the expert. This is what they do all the time. They are the experts on insurance coverages and all that. And they can tell you exactly the process and exactly how much the coverage would be based on what you have. It's a simple number. It's 800-558-7837. It also spells out 800-55-U-STEP. That's another way to look at it. So we've talked about Medicare and private insurance. If someone is paying out of pocket for a U-Step, we do offer a 20% discount across the board. So for example, $625 becomes $500, FYI. In addition, we work with a set of foundations such that someone can apply to a foundation to have the foundation pay for their U-Step. Okay. Now, we don't make that determination. That's the foundation. Typically, it's based on income and need, but that's what they do. So I'll be sure I provide either to Dana, whoever I know, Dana and Meredith, some of these links so that they're there. In addition, we have simplified as best we can the process to get a prescription in order to get reimbursed by Medicare. Instead of your provider having to know, well, what words do I need to use on the prescription? We developed a form with Medicare, 5 yes/no questions. That's all it is. It's about hand strength, balance, falling. So it's a much broader category to potentially get Medicare reimbursement. Once again, I'm not going to promise anything and always work with our main office because they're the experts. So how are we doing here? We're doing pretty good here on time, about a half hour. So I know I've flooded you all with a lot of information, and hopefully something is new that you learned, but I want to be sure I take any questions that people have too.
How's maintenance? You know, I can't perform it myself, but tightening brakes if the cables are loose and that sort of thing.
So a couple of things. So first of all, we have a warranty on the U-Step, and we will cover pretty much everything. We've been around 30 years, and we know we build a quality product. It has to be. We have found that local bicycle stores or bicycle repair stores, it seems to be a really good location to be able to do any kind of tweaks and minor tweaks. And we do have little videos, which I know is not easy for everyone, little 1 to 2 minute videos about some minor mods. But we've heard many times that local bike stores are a good place to get some tweaks done if needed.
Well, I have a U-Step 2 that I've had for about a year now. Well, no, 2 years. And it's the one with the bar. And so I've been really pleased with it.
Well, great.
Pardon?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know we have other, I want to be sure I answer. I know we flooded you with a lot of information, but please let me know questions. I want to be sure I'm as helpful as I can be.
I have a question. I was wondering, is this just offered in Colorado or do you offer it in Michigan too?
Oh, we all 50 states. We work with thousands of them. We actually do a lot in the state of Michigan. Actually, yeah, that's one of our stronger states. And we work
Okay,
with
thank you.
of the neurology centers in Michigan. And I'll say, and I want to be sure I say this properly. We, in general, we want people to try before they buy, if at all possible, right? Because it's a big investment. We realize that. So there's a couple of things that are possible for everyone. We offer a 2-week return policy. So if someone gets a U-Step and they go, I don't like it, it's okay. You can return it. That's fine. We will start the Medicare reimbursement process after that 2-week period, just to make sure. But also, we've provided samples to many, many neurologists. And in Meredith, who I would think most people know there, Meredith Roberts, she has a sample U-Step also. I'm not trying to drum up business for her, but she does have a sample U-Step also. So people can always try it, or as best as possible, try before they buy, because we want people to feel good about the investment.
Is there a video of your presentation? So if we wanted to review, kind of the characteristics of the unit that we could see?
I believe this session is being recorded.
Oh, okay.
So I leave it to Bethany and the team to distribute the link or whatever.
Yes, this is being recorded. You are correct. And so, yeah, it can be distributed where we have, I believe, anyway, I'm not exactly sure where these videos get housed, but I know they get edited and then put places where they can be found. So we'll make sure you can have access to that.
So you'll cut out the first 5 minutes when just us two were, not you, Bethany, but the people in the kitchen, we were just chatting before. You'll cut that out.
Lovely. Exactly. Yep. We have a great editor, so we'll get to the point, right? Get to the good stuff. But yeah, no, it's a great question because you did go through a lot of pieces and specifics of what each can do, what each offers. So I think that's a great rewatch to kind of get the feel of, all right, which one would be the most appropriate?
What else can I'm hoping everyone learned something new, and thank you, sir, that you already have a U-Step. So hopefully maybe I've added some knowledge for you, or maybe you knew everything, but that's good.
Yeah, I like the grocery cart attachment. Yeah, I hadn't seen that. I wanted to see what that looked like, and I've been. They want me to get the laser thing, so it was fun to see how that worked and everything. So, yeah.
Great.
Right.
And I didn't know you had a metronome, so on it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, it is very innovative, and we know people like to listen to music sometimes to kind of get a rhythm to beat, so it's all integrated in. I'm here. Ask your questions. Don't regret it if we go when we're done and you go, I wish I asked this question. So, anyone else?
Is it possible to get either some cards from you or some brochures? Because I get stopped all the time, people wanting to know what that is, if they like it. And
So
um,
I'll ask Meredith or Dana if you don't have brochures, let us know. We'll just send you a whole pack of brochures to Parkinson's Point, and then we'll let
Okay.
you do. Just let me know though, please.
all right.
I'll direct that to. I'll send an email. I know Dana and Meredith. I'll send an email after, and then, however they want brochures, they got brochures. Real simple.
Yeah. Well, and I just think it's easier for me just to hand them something about it, but
Absolutely.
I've given the phone number out a couple of times, and so hopefully you got some business. So I don't know.
Well done. Mitch, is
800
there something on the U-Step itself that people can just see where it came from? And, like a website on your, I see the U-Step, but I don't see anything else. Is there?
Yeah, the
something-
website is pretty easy. It's ustep.com, just like
Okay.
it sounds. ustep.com. All the products are there. There's a blog,
Yep.
some of the history of the founding of the company.
Great.
There are some videos there too, for sure.
Is that anywhere? I love his question because I can imagine how people would stop him and other users of like, wow, what is this walker? What is this, support? And so is there a way is there something on the apparatus itself right now that they could just take a quick picture of
Well,
to get
Well,
the information?
It says UStep right there on the
Okay.
front.
Okay.
I've had him take pictures.
You have. Okay. It sounds
Oh,
like
yeah,
you're
it's
enjoying
just-
it.
One guy
Good.
wanted to get one for his wife, and it's kind of it's unique. People just don't see that. It's different, yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Cool. Very
It
cool.
really, without getting too blah, 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 but it's a life changer for many people. We've heard so many stories. I mean, I know we had the video of someone who 10 years in a wheelchair. I remember there's a video of a woman using a platform. And if I recall right, I think the husband said that she really hadn't been able to walk in 25 years.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And they show her with a video of her going outside in their driveway around and around. It's like, oh. So, I mean, I can speak forever, but it's these videos that we get that just like, wow. And it's on our Facebook page. We post them on our Facebook page, but of course.
Great.
Let me know. Anything else I can answer for anyone?
Well, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. My pleasure. I love doing these sessions. So edit away, keep my jokes in, take them out, whatever you want. It's up to you. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just say thank you all for your time, unless there's a final question. And I'll see you in the video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's clear that this is increasing the quality of life for people and continuing to give them mobility and access to the things that they want to do. And so we appreciate you, Mitch, and the passion you're showing on behalf of this device. And we thank you for your time.
Have a great rest of your day and weekend, everyone. Why not?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.